If you're anything like me, you want to play the brand new season on Football Manager. Well, today you're in luck. I've got two methods that will allow you to play the 22-23 season on Football Manager 2022. Essentially, you get FM23 5 months early. Let's go. Hello there, my name is Anders and today we are looking at two different methods to basically get FM23 5 months early. The first method comes from our partners over at Passion4FM and the second comes from the guys over at SortItOutSI.net. Both methods have their pros and their cons and we'll look at all of them and then I'll show you how to download and install both methods. Right, let's have a look. So the first method we're going to look at is with our partners over at Passion4FM, and this method essentially, I'm going to compare it to a retro database. So if you've installed the 92-93 database by the mad scientist before, this will function essentially the same way. So it takes all of the teams that have been promoted or relegated throughout the last season and puts them in the right league, but the game still starts in the 21-22 season. So you've got to use a little bit of imagination to jump forward a year, but all of the teams are in all of the right places and it's a simple single download, job done. Now what this will do is this will put teams like Forest, who've gone up via the playoffs, in the right league without you having to do a single thing. You just have to forget that the 21-22 season happened. So if you're a Norwich fan, you never went up and came back down, you just stayed in the championship, and that's okay. But what this method does do is put everyone in the right place, just a single download, one little tick box on the data and the database that you're selecting at the beginning, and it's all ready to go. Now, if you look at the other method, the SortItOutSI.net method, this essentially populates the full 21-22 seasons and how they happened in real life, and moves the game forward until the end of May 2022. So you are essentially playing the 22-23 season at the right time in game. But the one thing that that method doesn't do is it does not select the winners of the playoffs or any cup competitions or anything like that. So you're going to have to keep reloading the game until you get, if you want to do a Forest save this is, or anyone else who's gone up via the playoffs, or gone down via the playoffs if you're in Germany, for example. If you want to do that and you want to get all the teams in the right places, you're going to have to do a few reloads to try and get everything sorted. There's workarounds and methods to try and do it, which I won't cover today because they involve using the in-game editor. But if you want to get the right teams in the right place, this method takes a little bit of jiggery-pokery and might be a little bit too complex to sort out if you're not too familiar using the database settings at the beginning of the game. But you get it in the right time. The date in the game shows the right date, so it's up to you which method you want to do. Both methods have got their pros, both have got their cons. It's all down to you, but whichever method you do use, I would definitely recommend using a data update as well to get all of the up-to-date transfers and manager moves and new contracts and all the things like that. So there's one available from SortItOutSI.net, which is a really big one. It's a community-based one. It gets updated every single day, but there are others available. It's up to you if you want to find one. I'll use the SortItOutSI one in this video today, but there are many out there. Just search FM22 Data Update and you should find plenty of options. Right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how you download all of the updates. I'm going to download all 3 that we need for this video and then show you where to put them and how to start the game and what it looks like. Okay, so all download links that you're going to need to do both methods are in the description down below, so please follow along with that. But the first link you need to click is this one, which sends you to my YouTube channel page, and where you need to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes here on the channel. I would really appreciate it, and thank you so much in advance for doing so. Right, on to the first method. We're going to go over to passion4fm.com, and here you can see, if you follow this link down below, you go straight to the page which has the promotions and relegations data update file. You click on the download button and it's as simple as that. It just downloads it's not a text file, it's an FMF file, but in my computer I've opened one before in a notepad, so it just looks like a text file. Right, now we've downloaded that, we're going to jump over to SortItOutSI.net. And here you can see the real fixtures and results final update file. It's updated until the 30th of May 2022 and it has a custom start date as well. If you scroll down you can see all the leagues that are included. Basically any league that follows the winter football schedule, the sort of August through to May, is included. Anything that does a calendar year isn't. So if you want to play in Norway, this one isn't for you. Right, so you hit the download. That downloads a zip file. It's got a load of data files in there that you need, and we'll cover that in a second. Right, on to the next one is the FM22 Data update. This one will basically put all of the new transfers, manager movements, player movements, everything like that, everyone in the right club, up to date as of this morning. So whatever day you go onto that link, it'll be updated at 4:30 AM UK time, or UTC I think it is actually, and it will be there every day updated. So whatever day you go to it, it will be the most up-to-date version of the database. Click this, click download, it will download a raw file, and you'll be ready to go. Okay, your download folder should look a little bit like this. You'll have 3 downloads that I've just, if you followed all 3 at least. You don't need to unzip or do anything with the Passion 4 F1 one. That one can just be dropped straight into the folder I'm going to tell you about in a second. But unzip or unrar the 2 other files from SortItOutSI.net. If you want to put them in their own folder, that's fine. So you just keep your downloads folder looking a little bit neat. And then you need to jump over to this link, which is Sports Interactive /Football Manager 2022. It's my document, sorry, Sport Interactive, Football Manager 2022, and then Editor Data. If you've not got an Editor Data folder, create one. But if you haven't, you should have, because you should have some real name fixers to drop in here as well, which you should have downloaded back in November. But anyway, this video is not about real name fixers. You can get one from Passion for FM or from SortItOutSI.net as well. Right, you drop all of the FMF files, your data editor files, in this folder, and that's it. You don't need to touch them now. They're in there. What you need to do next is head over to the game. And once in game, you go to the Start New Game button, Full Career, and head on to as you would any other game. You go to the drop down at the top, which sets the database. So it should by default say 22.4.0. So that is the base data update that came with the last winter update back in February or March of this year for Football Manager 2022. That's the official SI update. What you want to do is you want to enable some database options. So first off, for the Passion 4 FM method, you want to scroll down, untick everything. You want to scroll down, set your real name fixers, whichever one you've got, set them up. And then you want to click on this file here, which is the promotions and relegations file. You might also want to go down and do the data update, which we downloaded from SortItOutSI.net. Others are available, I'm sure. Set that up as well, and that's it. You just need those 2 and whatever real name fix files you've got in there. Set them as well, and then load the game as you would. So we're just going to select, if you go through the advanced setup, you just need to select whatever leagues you want to use. I'm just going to use the English ones just for an example, and then start the game. Okay, and this is what it looks like in-game. You'll note that the game starts in July 2021, as it does in the standard database. But if you go through to the Premier League, for example, you'll see all of the promoted teams, including Nottingham Forest, are in the right divisions. If we scroll down, go through the rest of the leagues, they're all in the right place as well. And that's it. That is as simple as that. You don't need to do anything else. The game is ready to go. Okay, back out onto the main menu to do the SortItOutSI.net method. This one is a little bit more involved depending on what leagues you want to run, but again, it should be relatively straightforward. Right, we'll go through and create a new game as we did before, but this time in the database editor options at the top right, this side, you have to select a few more things. So basically select any leagues that you want to play in, and maybe just select all of them. If they've got the brackets Finny at the end of the data update, that means they're the finished version, so they are the latest ones. If you've got any previous versions in there, it might get a little bit complicated, like my list looks quite complicated. But you select all the leagues you want, you make sure you select the custom start date, 30th of May 2022 as well. That is key for making this database work, and go through, do all your real name fixes as you would do anyway, and we are good to go. Now, in the advanced setup, you can set up the leagues you want to do as you did before. So I'm just going to do England again, so that's a like-for-like example. But you also need to go up to Africa and select the Seychelles, where it says SortItOutSI.net custom start date. That one is key. So you select that league as well, and then at the start date down in the bottom corner, I'll move my face that way. There, that way. And now you can see you need to do this drop down and select from the Seychelles the SortItOutSI.net custom start date, 30th of May 2022. Start it at the start of the season, and that will set the game to go at the end of May. Right, let's look what it looks like in game, shall we? So, as you can see, the start date here is the 30th of May 2022. If you've done everything correctly, it should look like this. And if we go through to the Premier League, for example, you'll see the exact Premier League table as it finished. Manchester City winning the league by a point. Burnley going down, which is the important thing. But if we drop down into the Championship, you will get a slightly different promotion picture. The playoff winners are different. It's not going to necessarily be Nottingham Forest. If you've got Nottingham Forest on your first try, well done to you, they'll get promoted. But if you want to play as them, you might want to jump around a little bit. As you can see here, it's not Forest. But we shall have another go and see what we can do. You just keep going, basically. Keep trying, keep trying. There's methods of doing where you mess around with morale of different teams in the playoffs, and it's a bit complicated. But if you're not bothered about who goes up via the playoffs, you're set. You're ready to go. It's the 30th of May. The new season will start in a few weeks' time. So there we have it. You now are able to play FM23 5 months early without spending any money whatsoever. Congratulations to you. Both methods have their pros and cons. You'll hopefully have been able to make a decision of which one you want to use by watching this video. And I hope you've enjoyed it. So if you have, please remember to hit this subscribe button right here and then watch some of this amazing content, which should be around about where my hands are. Thank you again so much for watching. I'm going to put my head here so you can see me. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks a lot, guys.